Recording in progress.
Ooh, I like this. This is great. Okay. Before. Okay, guys, can you go and check your WeChat and download the PowerPoint slide? I really like this. So, like, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. So today we'll be looking at decision structures. Okay, today we'll be looking at decision structures. Yeah. So we'll be looking at how we create if statement, if and else statement, arrow class, nested if else if statement, logical operators, and string comparing objects. Okay. So we'll be looking at how we do variable declarations, which we have already done in the previous class and scope. Then conditional operators, switch statements, okay? And then we'll look at some classes, then generate numbers with random classes, okay? So in the course of this class, we'll be doing some we'll be using this Java software to do some description or some exercise or some example to help us understand better what we are planning to do, what we are trying to learn. Okay, so what do we know about if statement, or what should we know about if statement? The if statement decides whether a section of code executes or not. Okay. If statement, it decides whether a section of code executes or run or not. Okay. The if statement uses Boolean to decide whether the next statement or block statement executes. Okay. So when you say if Boolean expression true, execute next statement. Let me give an example. For example, you go to the mall, you see ice cream and you like the ice cream. You ask the price. How much is this ice cream? They say, oh, this ice cream is RMB 100. Now, you love this ice cream and you want to buy this ice cream, okay? But you check your wallet, you check your purse, or you check your pocket. Do I have 100 RMB? Do I have 100 RMB in my pocket? So if I have RMB 100, if I have RMB 100, buy ice cream. Buy ice cream. So if I have RMB 100, buy ice cream. So if this is true, which means you have RMB 100, if it is true, then buy ice cream. If it is false, then no ice cream, right? So the if statement, it decides whether a section of code executes or not. So the decision is made here. If it decides true or false, then this will happen. If it is true, this will happen. If it is false, this will not happen. Okay. Example, if statement can be modeled with a flowchart. Okay. Flowchart modeling. This diamond usually means decision. Okay. This diamond usually means decision, and usually it has two arrows going out from it. Yes, one arrow coming, but two arrows go out because you make decision. Yes or no? Okay. Is it cold outside? Shida, cold outside. Then yes. Wear coat, put some winter jacket. Is it cold outside? No, not cold. Then do something else. So this, whether it is yes or no, true or false, determine if this action will take place. If cold outside, wear coat, wear coat. So if this is true, this will happen. If it is false, this will not happen. Okay. Now, you see here, this one don't have like this here, okay? Because this is one straight code. From here to here is one line of code. It ends here, okay? Okay, this is the end of the code. For example, if I now say wear coat, go outside. Okay. Don't write on the screen, please. Wear coat, go outside. Okay. For this one, okay, only this code will run. This code will not run. Because this is a different line of code. This if statement start and end with only here. It ends here. But if you want to have many conditions that you want to run, then you must put it in the block. if something, something, okay, then you put it in a block like this. Then do this, da, 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 da. Do this, da, 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 da. Do this, da, 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 da. Then you end the block. So once this is true, everything inside here will run. But if you don't put it in the block, only that the first command will be executed. Say, for example, a block if statement may be modeled as this. If, you see, this curly braces, if it's cold outside, wear a coat, wear a hat, wear a glove. All of this will happen if it is cold outside. If not, something else will happen. Okay, is it cold outside? Shida, it's cold outside. Okay, put on your clothes, put on your hat, wear some winter gloves. Yeah. So in most cases, Boolean expressions are used by this if statement. Okay, it uses relational operations. All right. For example, greater than. Okay, I can say if X is greater than 5, then you passed. That means you passed the exam or you passed the quiz or whatever. So system.out.print, you passed. Then I will ask you, what is X? So now you can put in X, your value for X. So maybe X is equal to 4. So if X is equal to 4, X is not greater than 5, right? So maybe you don't pass. Okay. So if this is true, then do this. If it is not true, then don't do this. Okay, greater than, less than, greater or equal to, you know, is equal to, is not equal to. These are all operators that you can use to define Boolean, make Boolean decisions. Okay. A Boolean expression is any variable or calculation that results in a true or false condition. Okay, remember we talked about Boolean, true or false, yes or no, 1 or 0, off or on. So usually a Boolean expression will have one of the two response. Okay, you see a statement, is it correct? Yes. Is it wrong? Yes. Is it correct? Yes. Is it correct? No. Yes or no. It's usually the outcome of that expression. So see another example. If X is greater than Y, system.out.print X is greater than Y. If X is equal to Y, system.out.print X is equal to Y. Now, if X is not equal to Y, system.out.print X is not equal to Y. Now, X is equal to Y, the system.out.print, however, now it is equal to Y. Okay, so this is basically telling you that something will happen. Something will happen if this is true. If it's not true, then this will not happen. Okay, this is if statement, and then there is if statement, there is block if statement. An if statement can span more than one line. However, it is still one statement. See, if grade, if average is greater than 95, your grade is equal to A. You see, there is no semicolon here. You don't have this here. It's only one line of code. Okay, and here. Okay, it's the same thing as saying if average is greater than the same thing, grade equal to A, then one line, then end here. Okay, rule of thumbs. Conditionally execute statement should be on one line after the if condition. The conditionally executed statement should be indented one level from the if condition. And if an if statement does not have a block curly braces, it is ended by the first semicolon encountered after the if condition. Okay. So if an expression is true or false, execute the statement. Okay. Now, conditionally execute statements can be grouped into a block by using curly braces. So these are curly braces to enclose them. If curly braces are used to group conditionally executed statement, the if statement is ended by closing curly braces. So if this is true, then do this and do this. Okay. Now remember that when curly braces are not used, then only the next statement after the if condition will be executed. Do you remember I told you? If expression statement 1. Okay, so this will happen. This one will not happen. It's not part of, it is not part of this if condition. All right, if expression, do this. Okay, but if you want to have all this, then you must put your curly braces here. Then if this is true, then do all this. Okay. But without curly braces, only the first one will be executed. You see, only this statement is conditionally executed. That is only this statement is conditionally executed. Okay. This other two will not execute because it is not part of the if condition. It is one line of code. Do you remember I told you? It is just one line of code, just like this. So that means only this code will run if expression statement 1 will execute, finish. 2 and 3 is not part of this if statement. So this is if statement, but there is block if. If you want to execute all this statement, more than one, then you use curly braces. Okay. Then your curly braces will now permit all of these to run. Sintong lama? Sintong lama? Okay. About we proceed, we move. So flags. A flag is a Boolean variable that monitors some condition in a program. Okay. When a condition is true, the flag is set to true. The flag can be tested to see if the condition has changed. Okay. So later this condition, average is greater than high score equal to true. Later, this condition can be tested. If high score, system.out.print. Okay. So comparing characters. characters can be tested using relational operations. Okay, characters are stored in a computer using Unicode character format. So Unicode is stored as a 16-bit number. Okay, characters are ordinal, meaning they have an order in the Unicode set. Okay, since characters are ordinal, they can be compared to each other. For example, A can be compared to Z. So character C is equal to A. Now, if C is less than Z, system.out.print, A is less than Z. So you can compare characters because it is ordinal, which means it is in order in the Unicode set. A will come before B, B will come before C, C will come before all the way to Z, right? So you can also compare characters, not only numbers, okay? Now we have looked at the if statement. We have looked at block if statement. Block if, you use curly braces, right? And now there is if and else statement. Okay. Example, if it is snowing, wear winter jackets, else wear summer clothing. See? Which means, you remember, in if condition, there's only one expression or one statement to do. Okay? For example, look at this. If expression, do this statement. If this is true, then do this. If this is not true, then don't do this. It's only one expression, one statement of block to do, or one statement to execute. Okay? But with else if, you have two statements. Okay? If it is cold, take coffee. No, if it is, yes, if it is cold or snowing, take coffee, else take ice cream. See, now we have two expressions. For if statement, we only have one expression, one statement, okay? There's only one job to do. But if you want to have more than one job, you use the else statement, if and else statement. So if this is true, then do this. If this is not true, then do this. This is what the if and else statement does. Okay. Another example. See, is it cold outside? Yes. Wear a coat. No, wear shorts. See, there are two jobs to do. So you do one if it is yes, and you do the other one if it is no. Okay, so that is how it works. The if else statement. Now look at this nested if. Is it cold outside? Shida. No, wear shorts. wear shorts, finish, end. Is it cold outside? Yes. Okay, it's cold. Is it snowing though? No, it's not snowing. It is just cold, but not snowing. So wear jacket. Is it snowing? Yes. Is it cold? Yes. Is it also snowing? Yes. Then wear parka. Okay. So you see, this is how you use if and else statements. Now, if and else matching, the curly braces use is not required if there's only one statement to be conditionally executed. However, sometimes curly braces can help make the program readable. Remember, if there's only one statement, you don't actually need the curly braces, or you don't actually need the else statement. Okay. Additionally, proper indentation make it much easier to match up else statement with their corresponding if statement. Okay. All right. Before we continue, I'd want us to do some exercise so you can see. Remember, when you go back to your dormitory, you really need to do all the exercises we do in class. Okay, because I told you, you need to practice. The reason why I do some exercises in class to show you some example is for you to understand better. So when you do understand better, when you go back to your room, practice it again. Everything I did in the class, do it again and do more. Okay. So now, okay, now I want to get loan. Okay, I want to go to the bank and ask for loan. Okay, so now the bank will ask me, the bank can only give me loan if there are two conditions. Okay, one, my salary is greater than 30,000 yuan. If my salary is greater than 30,000 yuan, then yes. Then next part, they will also check if I work in this company for more than 2 years. Okay, if my salary is equal to 30,000 or more, then they will check the next condition. Years of experience. Why? That means how many years have I worked in this company? Okay, because they don't want to give the salary, the loan to people who are new and people who can run away. So have you worked in this company for more than 2 years? If yes, qualify for loan. And now this part, if no, not
qualify for loan? This is no. So I want loan. So do you have more than 30,000 yuan as your salary, your annual salary? So in 1 year, do you make up to 30,000 RMB? Shida, I make up to 30,000 RMB. Okay. If no, then completely you do not qualify for loan. End. But if yes, okay, then they'll ask you, have you worked in this company for more than 2 years? If yes, qualify for loan. If no, also not qualify for loan. You need, okay, hold on. Pointer, if no, then they'll tell you, you need at least 2 years working here. Okay, so I am working in this company, Huawei company, for example, and I want to ask my boss, I want some loan, give me some loan. So this is the procedure to get loan from the boss. So the boss will ask you every year, do you make up to 30,000 RMB? Shida, okay. Have you worked in this company for more than 2 years? No, then sorry, you need at least, you need at least 2 years working here. Okay, then not qualify for loan. But have you worked here for 2 years? Shida, then okay, you qualify for loan. Okay, so now this is an example of is if and else if. So if you are to read this, X is greater or equal to 30,000. If X is greater or equal to 30,000, this will execute, right? But before this execute, you have another if statement because this is another condition. If Y is greater than 2 years, then qualify for loan. Else, need at least 2 years working here. Else, not qualify for loan. Okay, so let us do some practice on the software. So you remember what this is, right? This is for dialog box. Okay, I'm importing this so that I can use the dialog box. So let us int yearly salary. Okay, yearly salary. Let's say salary. Per year. Salary per year. First one. Second one, int. Because this is what we want to do now. We want to write a code that will execute this program in Java. Okay, this is what we want to do. So how can we write this code in Java? This is what we are going to do now in this exercise. So what are the variables you need? First, you want to know what is the X. X is the salary per year. Okay, it has to be greater than 30, right? And the next is Y. Y is the number of years you've worked with the company, right? So that is two variables. So work years, okay? Now I need another variable to use to collect my data from the dialog box. String, what should I call this? Input. Okay, string input. So now I will say input is equal to J, you remember J option pane dot show input dialog message. What is the message here? I want to ask the person, how much is your total yearly salary? So that they will tell me what their yearly salary is. Is it 25,000? Is it 50,000? Is it what? So I just want to get the information from the user. I'm creating a system now. Okay, how much is your total yearly salary? So I ask this user. Now, salary, do you remember salary per year? Salary per year is equal to remember, this will come in as string, right? We did that in the last class. It will come in as a string. So now salary per year is integer. In order for us to accept this into an integer, we need to pass it as an integer, right? We did that in the last class. So integer dot parse int. Okay. And now we got our. So now we also want to ask our user, how long has he been working for this company? So input is equal to J option pane dot show input dialog. Then I'll ask, how many years have you worked here? How many years have you worked in this company? Okay, so now we need to do the same thing for work years. So work years is equal to, we need to convert it into integer again, integer dot parse int. Integer dot parse int. So if you see here, if we run this file, see, it will ask us how much is our salary. So we can put anything here. Okay. It will ask us how many years we work here. We can say 5 years. Okay, finish. But now this is just condition. We have not told the software what to do. So now we need to tell the software what to do if this is true and this is true. Okay. Now, how do we do that? We need to use the if condition. Now, if we start with salary. If salary per year, okay, is greater than or equal to 30,000. Okay, this is condition number 1. So what do we do? J option pane dot show message. Show message dialog. So now we want to display something. Okay. You are qualified for the loan. To start, you are qualified for the loan. Okay, so now if okay, you are qualified for the loan, but do you remember here we need 2 conditions before qualify for the loan? Not only this, right? There's also another condition. So this must be yes, and this must be yes before you can get the loan. So we need another if statement. So this is first part, greater than 30,000 RMB, Shida. Okay, then we need a second if statement because it is 2 conditions, right? So if we need a second if statement before this can be reached, qualified for the loan. So if in brackets, work years is greater than 2. So now we can go ahead and print this. Else so we have a else J option pane dot show message you need to work here for at least 2 years. You need to work in this company for at least 2 years. So this is the second loop, okay? Else you need to work in this company for at least 2 years. All right, that is for this if statement. You see, this if start here and else if, but we have another if here. Okay, Then, which will also have its own else. J option pane dot show message dialog sorry, you don't qualify for a loan. Okay, so now we have our complete code. We can run this file. How much do you earn per year? So I will say 50,000, for example. Okay. How many years do you work here? If I say 1, see, it will say you need to work here for at least 2 years, which means even though I earn 50,000, but I have not worked here for up to 2 years. So which means I do not, sorry, I need to work here for at least 2 years. We need to have system.exit at the end of anytime you're using J option pane, because the program will keep running in the background. It will never stop. But if you put this, public. This is to exit the system. So now let's run it again. Let's give both conditions to be true. How much is your total salary? I earn 50,000 every year. Okay. How many years have you worked at this company? 5 years. Okay. So you are qualified for the loan. You see? Now, if we run this again and say, how much is your total salary per year? I say, oh, and my total salary is only 10,000 yuan. How many years have you worked here? I've worked here for 10 years, actually. I say, sorry, you don't qualify for the loan. Okay. So this is how we convert this if statement into Java code. Pintong lama? Pintong lama? Okay, so now we go for break, 5 minutes break. When we come back, we'll continue with the rest of the class. Okay, so break time. Wow.
Okay, guys, can we continue? Anyhow. Can we continue? Can we continue? Anyhow, can you hear me? All right. So we've looked at the else if statement. So the else if statement or block, if expression, statement or block, put as many else if as needed here, and then statement or block. Okay. So this one works with when you have many conditions. For example, if you want to have a, okay, it's okay. We will look at the, okay, when you are using many conditions, maybe you have so many conditions. For example, if you're writing a Java code and you're writing a Java code for a grade to test the grade score, okay? Okay, you see, this one don't have one condition or two conditions, it has 5 conditions. So this is where you use the if-else if statement because you have many conditions. So Java will be checking the statement one by one to check, is it true? Should that? Is it false? No. Is it true? It will check all the statements before it can execute the code. Okay. This is an example. You see, I put in my code, my score. Okay. Now Java will first check your score. Is it less than 60? Shida, my grade is less than 60. Okay, very easy. You got F, your grade is equal to F. Okay, so what if it returns false? Is it less than 60? No, it's more than 60. Okay, let's go to the text statement. Is it less than 70? Shida, less than 70. Okay, then it is not less than 60, but it is less than 70, which means D. Okay, it is not less than 60 and it is not less than 70. So it will go to the next statement. Is it less than 80? Yes, it's less than 80. Then you got C. No, it's more than 80. Okay, then we check again. Is it more than 90 or less than 90? Yes, it's less than 90. Okay, you got B. No, it's not less than 90. Actually, it's more than 90. Wow, okay, then you go to the next one. Okay, so score is less or equal to 100, okay? The less or equal to 100, which means you have 100 or less than 100, but not less than 90, which means you score A. If not, then what on earth is your grade? Your grade does not exist. Okay, if it is not in this category, then your grade does not exist. Which, for example, you put a grade of 102. No, there's no such thing as 102. It is greater, 100 is the maximum, or less than 100. So more than that, we don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so now if I were to ask you to write this in Java, can you do it? What do you think? If I ask you to write this code in the Java program, do you think you can do it? All right, let's do it together. If you have your software and you want to try with me, Chopper. So we'll create a new class and call it if else if. So basically, we will start from here. Okay, we're starting from the list 60, right? But before we get there, first of all, you remember we need, before we can use graphical user interface or the dialog box, we need to import the javex.swing .jOption pane. What is it? OPQ, this one, so that we can use JOption pane when we write our code. Okay, so we have our public class if as if. Okay, so obviously first you need to have your public static void main. Okay, so now what do we want to do? The first part is int score. We want to know your score so that user can put the score in the code, right? And then the next part is the input. When the user put in some information, some number, what is your score? Then you need to put your number in the dialog box. So we'll call it input, or you can choose any name you want. Okay. String input. String input. So this is the part where we get to ask input is equal to JOption pane dot show input dialog. Okay. Here we ask them, what is your score? What is your score? What is your score? So now they are going to put in the value of their score. So now our score will be equal to, because we're using our score is integer and input is in string. So we need to pass the variable, right? Do you remember? We did that even in the last exercise. So let's do it together again. Integer dot pass int input. Okay. So now, here we want to end the code system.exit. So that when the program is done running, it can close itself. So now we have our input, we have our score. The next part is to put the if statement so that it can display result based on, what the user actually inputs, okay? So for example, if the user inputs 10, okay, so where do we start from? Okay, according to this slide, see, we'll start from here, okay? So let's continue. If, in bracket, score is less than 60. That's the rule, right? Let's be sure. Yeah, score is less than 60. Okay. J, option pane, dot show message dialogues. Now U dot and F. So simple. If your score is less than 60, you got an F. So what if the score is not less than 60? So you need an else. Else. So the next part is what? 70. If score is less than 70. Then if it's less than 70, okay, let me copy this. For me, I want to copy, but for you, please don't do copy and paste, okay? You must learn to type by yourself. Type every single character by yourself when you're doing coding. Don't worry about me, I am Laoshi, so I can do whatever I like. If score is less than 70, then J option pane, you got a D. So what if it is not less than 70? So we'll now have else. See? Uniship, ask me this question later after the class. Let's proceed. Else, oh, we got a D. We have our next if.
if score is less than 80. Option B, got a C. Else if score is less than 90. You got a B. Else if score is less or equal to 100, got an A. Then, because this is the last part, you remember, A is the last part. So if it is not A, we don't know what you got. So we need to put that as our final condition. Else your score does not exist. Okay. So now let us try and run this code and see what happens. Hopefully it is okay. So what is your score? I put 100. You got an A. Wow, great. Let's run it again. "101. Your score does not exist." Okay, how about? Let's run again. "20. You got an F." Can you see? Let's do it one more time. Let's say we got 85. You got a B. See? So we have successfully created a grading system for this flowchart. Okay. Intong lama. Yes. So this is how you use if, else if, else if. You use for many conditions. Everything depends on what you want. Okay, it depends on the programmer. You as the programmer, you must know what you want, and you need to choose the best way to execute your program to get the solutions that you want. Okay.
So when you get back to your dormitory, please, you must have a try, okay? I know we have not gone this far in the lab yet, but on your own, you can try. So when we do it in the lab, it will be so easy for you, okay? Logical operators. Where are we in this slide? So we need to stop in slide 25. Oh, okay. This is where I want to stop actually for this class. But we still have some 20 more minutes. This one, I want us to learn this in the next class. Okay, any question? Any question? Uniship sent me a message. She sent me her Java report, her lab report. But the lab report is supposed to be collected by the class monitor, class leader, and sent to me, everybody, one by one. In one file, one zip file. The lab report needs to be collected by the class leader, everybody's lab report, and sent to me in one zip file, not everybody sent to me one by one. Uniship, do you understand what I'm saying? Class leader. Class leader, are you there? Have you submitted the lab report to me? I think you have. Let me check. Yes. You have submitted lab 1 to me. So why is Uniship lab late? Uniship, who is Uniship? Are you in the class? Why are you submitting your lab reports to me alone? What happened? Yeah? Are you there? Who is this? I don't understand your message. Who is this? Hello, Hector. Is this our lab report? I asked this from MIS leader. This is not lab report. This is lab manual, instruction manual, not report. But you need to follow the instructions in the class to do the report and submit. Does any of you have a problem with the lab? Hello, I'm asking a question. Do any of you have any problem with lab 1? Yeah? Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? No one is responding. Can you hear me? Oh, dear Lord. Please reply when I talk. Lab 1, was it easy or was it difficult? I'm asking you guys, what do you think? Respond. Hello. Class leader, are you there? The lab 1, was it easy? Was it difficult? Did you understand the lab? Did you do it well? Was it easy? Was it difficult? The lab stuff. Hello, hello, hello. The practice lab, I'm asking you guys, the practice lab, was it easy or was it difficult? All right, that's good. So if you don't understand anything, please let me know, okay? It's very, very important that you understand the basic concept and you practice, okay? You see in the class, we do some theory and we also do some practice in the class. You go back to your dormitory, do some practice, okay? The practice we did in the class, do different types of practice, okay? Try other things. Okay, now you learn if and else if today, then you can try to create something for any system you want to do. Maybe you can try for if snowing, wear coat. If snowing, please wear winter jacket. Or, you can try many, many things. The more you try, the more you understand. The more you understand, the easier it is for you to, the better programmer you become. Okay, you become, your programming skill begin to improve. Okay, so please, I hope you can do some practice, some exercise when you get back to your dormitory or when you have free time. Do some practice. If you have any problem, please come and say hello to me on WeChat and let me know. All right. So actually, I'm going to end the class now because we have covered everything I want to teach you today. Do you have any question? Any question? Okay. Do you guys want me to share the video for this class with you? Do you want the video for this class? Do you want me to share the video recording for this class? All right, good. At the end of the class, I will send the video recording so you can watch the video again and do some practice by your own, okay? So, Shesheni, good luck to all of you. I will see you guys in the next class. Next class? When is next class? I don't think we have a next class.
Until after the holiday.
Yeah, we don't have next class. So see you after the holiday. Right, Jen? Shesheni. We on Kashi, we on share, we on share.